Okay, good morning. Today is Monday. It is the 9th day of Nisan. And we continue in chapter 39. We explained yesterday some deep concepts in the Hasidus. Talks about what happens when you daven and you study Torah with kavana, with the proper intent. And we explained that there's two different types, two different levels. There are those people who are able to have intent and create a love and fear through Hashem, through their understanding, through the meditation. This is intellectually able to create love and fear to Hashem. When you daven and you study Torah this way, it lifts up, it rises the soul to the level, the world of Berea. What is the world of Berea? The world of creation. To explain again in short, we have the Kabbalah explains that there are the four spiritual worlds. There's the world of Atzilus, world of emanation, where godliness is revealed. And you have the world of Berea, world of creation. And then you have the world of Yetzirah, world of formation, and world of Asiya is the world of action. Now, each world represents a lower, a more reduced level of godliness. So in the world of Berea, it says this is the world of the intellect, the world of godly intellect. World of Yetzirah is the world of godly emotions. The world of Asiya is world of action. Each world itself also has the 10 sephiros, the 10 attributes, which is you have the three intellectual attributes and 7 emotional attributes, generally speaking. They're also subdivided, but we're not going to go into all of this now. But in generally, what we explained yesterday is that when you do the mitzvahs, and when you do it with kavana, those people who are on a very high level, who are capable of doing it, creating the love with their understanding, it's a very high level. It's not easy to achieve. Very special people are able to achieve it. Those people are able to reach, and they reach to the level, to the world of Berea, the second world. The people who are in a lower level, that are not capable of creating love out of their understanding, love and fear to Hashem, they go to the next thing they can do, which is revealing the natural love that exists in them. So to reveal the natural love, which we all have as an inheritance from our ancestors, from Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, gave us the deep, the pintalayid, as they say. This is the natural love that we have. We just have to reveal it. So the meditation, the kavana, leads us to reveal the natural love that we have. And this is, by doing this, we reaches up to the level, the world of Yetzirah, the world of emotions. And it explains also that the Malachim, the angels, are also from the world of Yetzirah. And this is why the angels are referred to as animals, because just like an animal, in the prophecy of Ezekiel, it says that he saw the face, the vision that he saw, the face of the lion, the face of the ox, the face of the eagle, it refers to it as animals. Why? Because just like animals, they have instinct. Everything what they do is by nature. So the same thing, the angels, the love that they have to God is not something that they create themselves, but it is something that they have it by nature. This is who they are. So the same thing is when a neshama, when a Jew reveals that natural, instinctive love to Hashem, it lifts up the soul to the world of Yetzirah. And then we explained that the love, the neshama goes up to the world of Yetzirah, or to the world of Beria, the second world in the higher tzaddikim. But all of this is talking about the soul itself. But the Torah that we study, the mitzvahs that we do, they are much higher. And they serve as the reward for the neshama. In other words, the soul, the Torah itself is connected with God himself, with the endless light of Hashem himself. The more Torah you study, then the soul is able to enjoy, like it says, tzaddikim nani miziv shechina, the tzaddikim are enjoying the delight of the Shechina. What is the light of the Shechina? Is from the Torah mitzvahs that you did, that you studied, the mitzvahs that you did. They are one with Hashem, and they create this special light, and that you can enjoy this light. So this is what we explained yesterday. Today, the Alter Rebbe continues, says that points out what we missed out one world. We said we have the word, the tzaddikim will reach up to the level of Bria, the second world, when you have the love that is created from the intellect. And you have the tzaddikim that reach to the level of the lower level of Yetzirah, the third love, which is the world of emotions. But then what about the world of Atzilus? Atzilus is one with Hashem. So the Alter Rebbe says, there are those very, very unique tzaddikim that they are able to reach to the world of Atzilus. And those are the tzaddikim that they serve God, not with the intellect. They serve God, they become like a chariot to God, meaning they become totally nullified. It's way beyond understanding. This is like the Aves. The Medrash says, Aves hein amar kava. The Aves, our ancestor, the patriarchs, Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, they were like a chariot. What does it mean they were like a chariot? Just like a wagon, a chariot. It goes where the driver wants him to go. It doesn't have its own will. It's totally nullified to the rider, the driver, the wagon driver. The Avos were like this to Hashem. Their will was a God's will. It wasn't about just understanding and coming to understanding that they love Hashem. It was completely nullified to Hashem, nullified to God. Those tzaddikim, reached the level of Atzilus. Moshe Rabbeinu was on that level. Great tzaddikim were reached to that level. And when it goes on, as we're going to say inside, that this is the way that tzaddikim do it, and also occasionally lower tzaddikim can also reach, as we'll soon see. So let's look inside. Says the Alter Rebbe, Oilamo Atzilus, the world of Atzilus, the world of emanation, Shehu lemayla me'aseichel ve'asadga ve'avona le'seichel nivra. This is the world which is beyond the intelligence, the grasp, and understanding of a created being's intellect. Created being intellect cannot understand, cannot grasp this godliness of the world of Atzilus. Why? Ki chachmasa yubinasai v'daitoi shel ein soif baruch hu meyuchadais shom boi betachlis hayichud. Because the chachma, the bina and das, the wisdom, understanding, and knowledge of God, the ein soif baruch hu, is one in the world of Atzilus. So it's one with him in Atzilus, with a perfect unity. Beyichud otzum v'nifla beyeser se'ez veyeser ois le'ein kates mi ba'olam abriya. It is such a perfect unity with a profound and wonderful unity and this is superior to that unity. Stronger, much without limits, greater than the unity that happens in the world of Bria, the world of understanding. Atzilus is connected with Chachma, as we explained yesterday. Chachma is the wisdom, but it's not the wisdom that we refer to as wisdom, because when we talk about wisdom, we're talking about something that we understand. The real idea of wisdom here is the flash of understanding, of receiving something which you didn't have, which you don't have. In order to receive a new understanding, you have to remove yourself completely. And this represents the world of Atzilus, where they're completely removed and open to the revelation of God Himself. The world of Bria, the second world, is already after the filtering, after the contraction, that Hashem contracted the light, restricted this light. That's where it continues. The Alter Rebbe says, "Kishom yodu la'oyer b'bchinas tzimtzum." For there, they descended to illuminate only to a restricted, contracted degree. Now, the wisdom, understanding in the world of Bria is already contracted. Why? So that the intellect of created beings, they should be able to receive Chachma bin Das, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Leida es Hashem, to know God. To understand and to grasp somewhat, something of some grasping of understanding from the Oyer Ein Sof, from the endless light of Hashem. Kefi koyach scholim anivroim, to the extent that the intellect of finite, limited, created beings is capable of understanding. She'ein balei gvul v'tachlis. They're finite, they're limited. Shelo yizbatlu b'metziusam, v'lo yu begeder nivroim klal. So to achieve this purpose of that should be able to understand and not to be completely dissolved out of existence, and to be completely dissolved, to cease altogether to exist. Meaning that if the light of Hashem is revealed in the fullest way, the creation is not able to exist. It's completely being dissolved. Now, just to use the example, when the sun comes and shines, the light of the sun in the sun cannot exist. It's completely dissolved. So if the light of Hashem comes here and into this world, the world is not able to exist. In order for the world to be able to exist as creatures, Hashem needed to reduce this light. They would instead revert to their source and root, namely godliness itself. Continues the Alter Rebbe and he says, this contraction that we said that the Chabad, the wisdom, understanding, and knowledge of Atzilus undergo in order to radiate in the world of Beria, the second world. He says this contraction thus causes the souls in the world of Beria to be illuminated by the glow of Chabad of the Ein Sof. This is Sibas ha'ora sheme'iris shom chochma binoda shel Ein Sof baruch hu leneshamis elu be'olam habriya. מה שאין כן באצילוס, שאין מבחינת צמצום כל כך, אי אפשר לזכולם נברואים לקבל מהם. But in the world of Atzilus, the world of emanation, that does not have this kind of contraction, so the intellect, the intellect of the creatures, the created beings, are not able to receive from them. Therefore, their thought cannot grasp there at all. Meaning the thought and intellect of the created beings of Bria can in no way grasp the light radiating in Atzilus. So therefore, Atzilus, when we're talking about this highest world of Atzilus, the world of emanation, it is not a place, even the great tzaddikim cannot reach there. Except, he says, L'cheinu modoir l'tzaddikim agdoilim. For this reason, Atzilus is the abode of the great tzaddikim. We're not talking about the regular tzaddikim. We're talking about the very, very few tzaddikim. She'avodosam hi lemaila maila afilu mibchines tchilu urechimu animshachos min habina v'das b'gdulasa yisbarich. That their service of these tzaddikim is way greater, way higher than the tchilu rechimu, the fear and love that comes from the intellect, from understanding the godliness, the greatness of Hashem. Just like the Atzilus transcends and by far the level of the understanding and knowledge of created beings' intellect. Hello, so what kind of service is there? What are we talking about? These tzaddikim, they love Hashem, they fear Hashem, but it's not out of an intellectual love, not something out of something that they're able to reach with their own understanding. So he says, Alavidasam oisa, or he, the Rebbe corrects this, that should be he. Alavidasam hi bibchinas merkava mamesh le'oir ein sof baruch hu. Their service is rather on the level of an actual chariot of the blessed Ein Sof. They become a chariot, they become one with Hashem. V'libatel eilav b'metzius, v'leikolel ba'eir yisbarich, nullifying their very existence before Him, and to be included in the light, the great light of Hashem is Heim v'chol ha'shalem, they and everything that they possess. Everything is included in the light of Hashem. How? Through the observance of the Torah and mitzvahs. And this is similar to what our sages say. Ha'avos hein hamerkava. Our sages say that the patriarchs are the chariots. They are the divine chariots. They themselves constituted the divine chariot. Because by them, by the patriarchs, their entire life was serving God as a chariot without any will of their own. So this is what we're talking about, the world of Atzilus, reaching to the world of Atzilus. This is the people, the tzaddikim, are on this level. But he whose soul's root is of too limited a capacity for this perfect service on the level of a chariot. When we're talking about regular tzaddikim, again, we're talking about the tzaddikim, we're not talking about simple people, tzaddikim, but they're not in the level of the avos. They're not in the level of, they're not capable of becoming like chariot, like one thing that they have their own will. So that through his service of Torah mitzvahs, he be constantly nullified before God and absorbed in God's light. And only occasionally, intermittently, and only at times of divine favor on high. Meaning that even the tzaddikim in the lower level, occasionally, when there is special time, with a special divine favor on high, they're able to reach a little bit of that level of Atzilus. Ukemoi, for example, B'tfilah Shmoneh Esrei, shehi ba'Atzilus. For example, such as during the Shmoneh Esrei prayer, which is in the level of Atzilus. And because it says in the davening that we daven every day davening is a journey. We stop, we open up our eyes, we say Moide Ani. And the davening begins with Psuke de Zimra. Psuke de Zimra is the verses that we say before the Shema. We talk about the thinking and talking about the greatness of the Hashem created the world, Hashemayim, the Kechavim, the stars, and everything that is beyond. We will focus on the greatness of this world. This corresponds to the lower level of the world of Asiya, reaching the understanding of the greatness of God in the world of action. Then you have also the world of the Birchis Kriya Shema, the blessings of Shema, talking about the Malachim, the angels, and so on. This is a world of emotions. Then you get to the Shema. Shema Yisrael is more of an understanding, reaching a higher level world of Beria, which is the understanding and the godliness. Like we say, Shema Yisrael, listen to Israel, to understand, and from V'ahavta Hashem Elokecha, creating thereby the love to Hashem. And ultimately, when you get to Shmoneh Esrei, the prayer of Amidah, that is called the silent prayer. Silent prayer, you stand like with the feet together, you become completely nullified to Hashem. And you say, Hashem, sefasai tiftach upi yagiti ilasecha. Hashem, open up my lips, open up my mouth, let my mouth say your praise. It's like completely nullified. So in a sense, that reaches the level of Atzilus, where you become one with Hashem. So he says that even simple, lower tzaddikim, they're able also to get through the tefillah. From time to time, they can get a taste of this world of Atzilus. And in the Shmoneh Esrei, what do we do? Also, we bow down. What is the idea of bowing? When you bow down, it is also the idea of complete nullification to Hashem. Human being is standing up, and the head is on top, and you always think you're on top, and you understand, and I know, and I feel. And when it comes to the Shmoneh Esrei, we bow down our head. We say that we are completely nothing. Nullified, our greatest achievement is nothing in the presence of Hashem. And this continues the Alter Rebbe to explain. Says the Alter Rebbe, Kamoi betfilah Shmoneh Esrei shehi ba'atzilus, such as during the Shmoneh Esrei prayer, which is at the level of Atzilus, ubifrat be'ishtachavoyos sheba, and especially when bowing in the four designated places in the prayers of Shmoneh Esrei, shekol hishtachavoy hi b'bchinas Atzilus. Because every such act of bowing represents the level of Atzilus, as it is written in the pre-Eitz Chaim, the section dealing with welcoming of the Shabbos. Ki hi inyan bitul be'oiro yizborech liyos choshiv kamei klei mamash. Because this embodies the idea of self-nullification in God's light, to be accounted as absolutely not before Him, before Hashem. Azai gam ken ike kvius nishmosoi uboilem abriya. So in the case of he who can attain the level of a chariot only at such special times, the time of the Shmoneh Esrei, then even at these times, the principal abode of his soul is in the world of Beria, in the second world. But we are dealing here with the soul associated with the world of Beria. רק לפרוקים בעז רצון תעלה נשמוסוי לאצילוס. But only occasionally, at times of divine favor, his soul is able to rise to the world of Atzilus b'pchinas mayim nukvin, in a level of feminine waters. Kayadu al Yadechem is known to the students of Kabbalah. What does it mean, the feminine waters? When you have from the female side, something brings up a message that I want you, I desire you. And that itself, when you have this feeling that comes from, Hashem and the Jewish people are compared to husband and wife, and we are like the wife, so the feminine waters that we bring up and create this energy that we want to be connected, that itself causes the masculine waters to come, that Hashem gives us this taste of this world of Atzilus, that occasionally we do have that. This is the end of today's shir. What is the amazing message we can take from today? We talk about all of these great levels of reaching up higher and higher and higher. That we're doing the Torah mitzvahs. When we do the Torah, we do the mitzvah with kavanah. We think, we have in mind, we think, what are we doing here? What happens? What are we creating? We're lifting up our neshama to such high levels. Obviously, we're not in the level of tzaddikim, but we do have, number one, we have the ability to touch a little bit, to get a little taste. When we daven, that we know that it exists, even though we don't sense it. We know that this happens. This is the real reality. And more than that, the fact that we know, as we learned yesterday, that the mitzvah itself is much, much higher than any levels that the neshama can reach. The neshama enjoys the benefit of the light that is created through our mitzvah. Through our mitzvah is created such a powerful light that the neshama benefits from this light. That's what it says. Schar mitzvah mitzvah. The reward of the mitzvah is the mitzvah itself. So this gives us such a importance, understanding when we go every morning, when we daven, to have the kavanah. The kavanah is to create as much as we can, to create the inner, deeper understanding of feeling of love and fear to Hashem, that every mitzvah creates a bond with Hashem himself. So thank you again for joining today, and make sure to share this share, subscribe and like, and click notification, everything what you need to do, and share it with others. Any questions, we can discuss now the questions.